doing today? Mike Scott with Storyteller Media. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Scott Now. Email info@storytellermco or storytellermco.com. All right. Thanks again, guys, for coming in. We're into week 9 now. Last week we had an awesome guest, Mikhail Alfon from 712 Marketing, shared 5 power social media hacks using a variety of different platforms. So we got a lot of engagement. Like always, I want to start off just by thanking everybody for the engagement, the time, the comments, the feedback. That's why I'm doing this right now, is because I just really want to give back all the knowledge that I have learned through this last year and a half and really tackling social media in the day in and day out grind, so I can give back and find people who can do the same. So that's what I did again this week. And I've been working with this guy for a while now. We connected on Twitter again. We've just been working on some projects. We actually just shot some training videos. So we went over like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter last week. But one of the things we touched on and haven't gone in depth with was Snapchat. And so what I wanted to do is bring you a guy, Emilio Richardson. He's a social influencer, blogger. He's worked with brands from a local basis, local radio stations, all the way up to national brands like Chevy. So I'm going to turn it over to Emilio for him to introduce himself. And thanks for coming, man. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me. So what's going on, everybody? I'm Emilio, and Mike pretty much said everything I do, so I don't really need an introduction. So everybody's, wanting to know about Snapchat. That's the new mystery.
Yep.
The new thing that everybody's trying to jump on, and it's a lot of mystery in it because it's considered a dark social media.
Yeah.
So you got, you can't see public comments.
Yep.
You can't see how many followers someone has. So you really don't know if someone's doing well, if they're not doing well. And the only thing that you have to go off of to gauge your kind of success is basically yourself. You ask people, like, you look at the views, then you ask other people, like, what are you getting for views? What are you doing? And it's like that.
So let's go back. I mean, I know we just did a whole training series on this with a creation agency. So I know we're both excited to see how that turns out. And it's something that we haven't seen before. So it's exciting. But let's kind of go back to Snapchat just from the beginning basis. And I know a lot of people are wondering, it's just that thing where pictures disappear, right? Where people probably do inappropriate stuff, right? But, and that's where I still get that when I talk to people, like they think it's my 17-year-old daughter and that's the only people that use it. But now we're starting to see that kind of age range go out and get considered millennials, but we're seeing even older into, that 17 all the way up into the late 30s as the average user. But why has it hit the so-called millennials hard, and what's so attractive about the platform to you?
Well, millennials, we're a younger demographic, and we just like to be entertained.
Okay.
We like to be personal. It's social media is about connecting with other people.
Yep.
And so with the other forms of social media, it gets real public. I wouldn't necessarily say something to a person or comment on their post everything that I was thinking, because everybody in the world can see it.
Okay.
But with Snapchat, I'm watching someone's story, they do something, I can message them, and I know that message is going to go straight to them. I'm probably going to say exactly what I'm thinking.
Sure.
And it's like, so I feel more open to be able to converse with people. There's not that pressure of, did I get enough likes today? Did I get this and that? And how does my post stack up to this person's?
Yeah.
And then there's just the ad experience. You scroll through a feed, you see a whole bunch of advertisements and stuff you're not really interested in seeing. But with Snapchat, you control your own feed. So if you don't want to see it, you just simply don't click on it.
Yeah, and you truly do, I think, compared to other platforms where they say you control it. With Snapchat, I think you really do. They have been putting some ads in Snapchat. Have you seen that at all?
But the ads that they put in, they're tasteful.
Right?
They fit with the program, and it's like I'm watching someone's entire story, and then right at the end of the story, there may or may not be an ad, and that ad is no longer than 10 seconds, and that's the only ad.
Okay.
So it fits in the platform. They're very entertaining. I actually like their ads.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I was watching, it almost seemed like it was just a personal person Snapchatting, but it was for movies or something.
Yeah, and sometimes they have like real crazy stuff. I saw some football player like riding on a plane And he's like going through the screen. He said something, and I was just laughing because I was like, "This is entertaining." Like, I'm not even upset that they showed this.
So it's true storytelling. So let's jump in. And where I do this vlog, a lot of the audience is, from businesses to a lot of personal branding, and I know we go even more in depth with that with our training program. But let's touch on some stuff and give some value today. So if someone's thinking, should I try Snapchat? Because we've talked about it. Snapchat may not be the best for everybody. So just like every platform is finding, what the best is, but I think you should at least try it, get out there and do it. So from a, personal branding, whether you're an individual salesperson, an influencer like yourself or upcoming influencer, what's the best way to use Snapchat? What would you say to people, how would we use Snapchat?
You use Snapchat it's personal. Okay. So it's where you build friendships, relationships with people who want to know more about you as a person. They don't want that fluff. They don't want that framed Instagram photo that you put up and got 1,000 likes, but everybody's seeing that same thing, and it doesn't really say much.
Okay.
You use this to be able to connect with people on another level, and they feel like they know you.
Sure.
Like people, they say your name, they talk to you like your best friends, and they send you messages, and they, I get the most uplifting things from people that I didn't get on the other platforms.
So from even if I was a real estate agent or like an individual salesperson, I would just probably, I know we've talked about this, but it'd probably just go about your day, right? And get actually know you. So it's that same additive that people are, buy from friends and family, right? So they get to know you well.
Well, people look at salesmen as sharks because you've never seen this person before in your life. You go up to a dealership or whatever, and they come out and they attack you because they're trying to build rapport in minutes, seconds, and then they're trying to sell you something to get that money. And then you feel attacked. So that's why they got the name, sharks. But if you knew that person or you were following them on Snapchat and that person sold cars, you knew they did. And then when the time comes and you need a new car, you're going to go to them because you know them already.
So, that to me is, and you don't get any more personal Snapchat, right? Because I guess you could post pictures of you brushing your teeth or like we're talking, or you doing stuff like that, but it's just not the same as an actual video of you, intimately in that person's life. You actually get to feel what it is being around them. And so I think that really builds that rapport. So I think that's a great thing. So what about, if I'm a business or a brand, what do you think's a good kind of a way that you would use it?
Well, people like people, okay? And people work at businesses. And it's like, I may not necessarily care about a business, but I care about the people who work at that business.
Yep.
So I may be inclined to go eat somewhere because one of my friends is working that night. And they're like, hey, come over here and hang out with us. And I'm like, okay. Because I know them, because now, they built this rapport with me. And maybe I want to see what's on the inside. To me, a business is just a business until I know something about it.
True.
So
even like we were talking before, even if you were a dentist's office or something you consider as boring, right? I think
nobody's excited to go to the dentist. It's like you want clean teeth, but you're still not excited about it.
Very, very true. But so what are some ways then to deal with that? Getting the employees involved if they want to.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of the ways that you've seen businesses be successful on Snapchat?
Well, you got to follow employees around. Every employee that works at a business is a different person.
Yep.
They see the business differently. They do different things at the business. And it's like, take us in the life of a dentist, so we can understand, or the dentist assistant, like, what do you do? Sure. What are these crazy things? And I go in there, I see all these utensils, and I'm like, I don't know what this does, but just keep it away from me.
Yeah, it's scary, right?
Yeah. But if it's like, if you unveil the mystery, then I see behind the curtain and I'm not so afraid. And I'm like, oh, this is actually a pretty cool place. Real people actually work here. Yeah. Instead of like these robots just trying to poke around in my mouth.
And I think from, again, getting intimate and getting to know those people, if you're doing with the staff, if you're getting to know those staff members, how would it be if someone comes in, they're already comfortable when they come in? Because I know when I go in the dentist, especially, I don't go often. When I come in, I'm kind of nervous and maybe I haven't been in a while. So there's a new person behind the counter. and maybe they're not having a good day, so I don't know them. I'm just sitting in my chair like, oh man, when's this going to be over? But again, if you're building that kind of comfortability level, I think that's a great way through Snapchat.
Yeah, there's nothing better than going into a place and knowing the people there.
Yeah.
Being able to see the person behind the receptionist desk. Hey, Denise, how's it going? She's like, oh, it's going great. And you're like, oh man, you posted that story the other day. It was hilarious. And now you're comfortable.
Yeah, that's great. So I think that's a great way for personal brands. I think it sounds like it all comes back to just really getting to know the people, whether you're on an individual basis or a business.
Yeah.
Is a way you're going to win, and you can actually get intimate and get to know the people that are either working at the business or get to know that salesperson who you may think is a shark. So,
well, one thing I want to bring up is, now that you said that, reminded me, is when you got a business and let's say you're doing, you're making advertisements for Instagram or Twitter or Facebook.
Okay.
You make those advertisements in a way to say everything you needed to say in that one piece, because you're afraid that people might not see it.
True.
Snapchat, there's not that added pressure, because when somebody clicks into your story, they have chosen to see everything that's in your story. So you have the opportunity actually to soft sell them.
Okay.
So you can just ease into it, like doing some fun stuff. And, oh, I'm going to eat here. Hey, by the way, you guys can get a coupon on our website right here. And the next snap is like screenshot the next snap for the website. And that was the soft sell.
Yeah. So it's not that, which we talked about in the last vlog, and I talk a lot about, and you and I have talked a lot about it, but that coupon mentality where you're just posting a coupon, or you're trying to get what your business does in 2 sentences and then a coupon, and then follow me here and follow me there. It's just too much information in a small post or a picture. So like you said, you can actually soft sell, tell your story, and then it feels more of you referring somebody to that coupon than shoving it down their throat.
Yeah, definitely. Referrals are, they go over way better than it's like, hey, here's this coupon, go over here and get this deal, as opposed to, I was doing something cool, want you guys to do something as well. This is out here if you want it.
Yeah, and I saw you do a good example, and it might have been on Snapchat, it might have been on something else, but it was like, I think it was Amazon or something, and you're like, hey, you're already using Amazon, join me or something like that. It was just a good verbiage that you had on there. It was like, I actually clicked on it to check it out, because I was like, I already use this.
Yeah, it's like if you're already doing something, it's like you might as well, Yeah. You can it just felt like a referral though. It wasn't like I was selling you on anything. It was like, hey, you're already doing this thing, so why not, get it here.
Exactly. And I knew that it would probably benefit you, but I'm okay with it benefiting you, but I didn't feel like I was being sold. And I think that's that kind of key narrative that you can do on Snapchat. I think that's, definitely powerful. So, before we go, I always kind of like to ask, what are a couple tools that people can use with Snapchat? And, whether it's growing their audience, what are some tools out there? Because I know Snapchat, again, is so unknown for a lot of people. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, there's a million different tools that you can use. But what about Snapchat?
Well, Snapchat has a friend. They're not affiliated with it, but it's still the best tool to get found, and it's Ghost Codes.
Okay.
So Ghost Codes is a Snapchat app discovery.
Okay.
You find other Snapchatters, you build a profile on there, and it'll have your snap code available for someone to simply click a button and to download it to their gallery. Okay. So then they can go into Snapchat and they can find you. It has you listed by category. There's business, brand, you're interesting, you're just random, foodies, vloggers. They have all these categories in there for people, so that and they have interest-based searching. So if someone was like, they put in their interest, I like yoga, and you're a yoga instructor, you want to find the snappers who are interested in yoga. So you look under the interest, and there they are. Very good, very key tool to use. And
so let me go back, and I think it's worth going back and spending a little bit of time on it. Is Snapchat's different, right? And we didn't really talk about that, so it's a little bit different, or a lot different than a lot of the other ones. There's no discovery abilities within the platform.
No.
And so back to the snap code, just let's say we have some people that are brand new to Snapchat, they never use it. Okay. They go on, they start an account. What is a snap code? I mean, it may sound silly, right, to us, because we understand, but there's a lot of people that are new. So, I mean, what is a snap code compared to, other platforms? I mean, what is it?
So a snap code is a QR code.
Okay.
The QR, and it's a code that can be scanned inside of Snapchat's interface.
Okay.
So you use a Snapchat camera, and it'll be a code. It's in a squircle, and then it has certain dots. Those are the QR codes around a ghost.
Okay.
And so that code is very important because someone can simply snap your picture of that code in Snapchat, and then it will pull up your profile, and they could simply click add.
Okay, which I'll put ours in the feed and the blog as well, so you guys can check out what Emilio's doing, and I'm not as active, but you can check out what I'm doing as well. So we talked about ghost codes and how a discovery kind of method. What's some other ways that you can get discovered on Snapchat or find people?
Well, some other ways are the other existing social media platforms.
Okay.
So a lot of people will get into Instagram and they'll get into Twitter and they'll use hashtags like Snapchat, hashtag add me on Snapchat, whatever other hashtags are going out there. But you can find people who are interested in Snapchat. You'll see a bunch of codes and you find people who look interesting and you add them up.
Yeah, and I think that's important too, just sharing across your other social media.
Yeah. So you have to do that. Yeah, there would be a missed opportunity if you didn't share your Snap code in those other platforms, because you're sharing everything anyway. It's a digital picture, so you can share that through the other platforms. And if you're like a business and you have a brick and mortar building, you definitely want to put your Snap code on things like signs, on the doors, so that people can see them. And like if you have a checkout register, that's the perfect place to have a Snap code on a sign right there. Add us on Snapchat. I've added probably 3 or 4 businesses that had their Snap code right there when I was checking out.
Yeah, and it's easy. Just snap a picture of it with your phone, right? And then from the platform, you actually scan it through your pictures or your photo album, and it adds somebody. So
it's very easy.
It's definitely easy. Well, awesome, man. Hey, that's some great feedback and and information. I know, like I said, and I'll put that in the link, and we'll be talking about it some more. But Emilio and I just did a collaboration with Creation Agency, going over Snapchat in detail, in depth, from a personal brand, individual salespeople, brands, businesses. So we're excited for that to come out. Definitely look forward to that. I appreciate you jumping on, Emilio.
Hey, I appreciate you having me. I want to dispense with all the mystery around Snapchat because it's so secretive and everybody's got questions. So the more people who know, it'll continue to grow, and it's already eclipsed Twitter and Instagram as far as daily users. So who knows how far it's going to continue to grow.
Awesome. Oh, and last thing before I go, I'll put the link in there as well. But Emilio has an amazing YouTube channel that has some awesome, like, in-depth training on Snapchat. And I know he's got, I think on one, how many do you have? Is that one emoji up to now?
60,000 views now.
Yeah. So it's crazy. And that was just like, I think you got 30,000 of them in the last 2 weeks. So people are going to be looking for this information. So awesome. Thanks a lot, man. Have a great day.
Hey, thanks. You too.
All right.